Huh? Oh my god! Whoa, wait. Do I have... Yes! If you also want to survive against 50 plus Reapers and possibly even beat my score, then hey, here's the guide for you. I just had this idea out of the blue to make this guide, so I would say let's just get going. You know, the first thing you have to do is get all the power-ups, play Christine, and you just have to play on Inlaid Library in my case. You can of course go to the stage that you want to go. You go in there and then you just, sure, whatever, go to the First things first, to figure out where you want to play, you should maybe go to a stage that doesn't have a really high survival rate, right, with my 88 minutes. I mean, I can easily beat that, but, you know, if you do it first time, that might be a bit difficult. So if you just sort for longest survival, we can just... You know what, I decided maybe on Day Replant this might be a very good thing to do. And funny enough, the other strategies that you just saw, they just walk diagonally. There's honestly no skill in this. All you do is just push down 1-2 buttons and that's it. You can literally do this forever. I could break this record right now. And as you can see, all I have to do is walk down diagonally and... So yeah, as you can see right now, it just continues forever and forever and forever and forever, and eventually you'll die to RNG, but you know what, you just start it up again, you just press the same 2 buttons again. There's no skill, there's no fun, we want to struggle, we want to hate ourselves, so we go for Day Replant. Now that we figured out what stage we want to play on, we have to adjust our power-ups a little bit. Just take everything except for Curse. Curse is not your friend, you don't want to have that. It just makes the death faster, and that just means you die faster. And because I get constantly asked why my gold doesn't decrease, you just have to type in Creed is good, join Narnia, defeat the witch, and then time travel to prevent that Voldemort ever came back. And we are back to Christine. Just pick her and now we go for Day Replant. This time just deactivate hyper mode. It makes the Reaper, the death at the end, move slower, so it's easier to deal with them. And the Day Replant has a lot of benefits that I'll talk about in a second. So let's get started, we will level up and ooh, amazing, we have 8 the Sparrow right away. I'll talk about the item build in a second. And you can pretty much not avoid that Pentagram destroys the orb at the very beginning unless you're lucky and it just doesn't happen. There's a chance for that. So the item build is the following. I either go for Garlic or Song of Mana, I think both are totally fine. They are pretty much just helping with the knockback a slight bit, but later when the death spawns both seem to do absolutely nothing. Garlic is supposed to increase freeze timer, but for some reason it just doesn't work on the death. That was pointed out to me and yeah, I could confirm that it was totally useless, so no reason to actually take it. The next 2 weapons that we are looking for are Labora and Firachi. Firachi requires both of the guns. Ooh, this is not amazing. You know what, I'll just go for Garlic. I think, as I said, either Garlic is fine or Song of Mana. Both pretty much do the same thing. And as long as you survive, this is all that matters. For the passive weapons, it's quite simple. You have Spellbinder, Attract Orb, Duplicator, Tiragisu and Empty Tome as the mandatory ones. These are by far the best in my opinion. And if you play on a map like Mad Forest or Green Acres where you can't pick up any additional passive weapons, then you have to choose 1 out of 3, being Candelabrador, Brazier and Wings. I'm honestly undecided which one of these 3 is the best one. I just go for whatever you feel like is the best one for you. Ooh, there we have Empty Tome, amazing. Yeah, just go for whatever is the best one for you. If you play on Library, then you can pick 2 of them because you have the Empty Tome on the map. And here you have so many on the map that I don't even know what to go for, so I'll just pick Clover to have a slightly better chance to get freezes out of broken candles. There we have Fraser, amazing. My strategy is I just want to have everything maxed out. I want to have 6 weapons, I want to have 6 passive weapons. Then I'll walk off and get the wings just to be a bit faster. And then I get the 2 other passive weapons that are on the stage here. And these are all the 3, as you can see there are Wings, there's Attract Orb and down there is Candelabrador. This will take quite some time to get there, this is why I want to have Wings first. After we collected everything I can then just go for the guns. Those will be maxed out first and immediately evolved. Don't forget that on this map you can evolve with any chest, right? You don't have to wait until 10 minutes, you can just evolve with any chest. If the Stalker shows up, you have multiple ways on how to deal with him. The easiest one is probably just ramming a minecart into him. Yes, this will kill him and give you a chest. The second way is just, well, there it is, Pentagram. If you just let it go off, then it will also kill him. But if it's an erase, then you won't get a chest. If it's not an erase and an actual kill, then you'll get the chest. And the third way is a rosary, which, you know, you have to do the least for. It's easier than a minecart, but you need a drop, right? It needs to be dropped and that it doesn't get erased by pentagram while you're walking around. So overall, I would say focusing on the cart is probably the easiest thing to do. The Stalker can spawn at 0 minutes. If that happens, just reset. Honestly, I would not even bother with it, just reset. He can spawn with a 30% chance at minute 8 and a 30% chance at minute 12. And yes, it can happen that he spawns all 3 times, though the very first one at minute 0 only has a 1% chance, so hell, if that happens to you, you are insanely unlucky. And goodbye boss chest. Now I gotta admit something, I'm not an expert on this map, I actually know very little about level requirements and stuff like this, and I only played it on hyper mode, so I don't really know how much experience I'll get. Come to think of it, you might actually not want to pick up all 3 passive weapons that are on the map that are useful for you, and just go for 2, in case you don't meet the level requirements. Every weapon in the game has a weight, by the way. It's pretty much a rarity. The lower it is, the harder it is to get it. So I highly recommend you, whenever you see Tiragisu, just pick it. Even if something else might be really good, just pick it. Empty Tome is also kinda rare. Duplicator is rare, and the rest is fine. You know, the guns are rare, so pick them up if you see them. But aside from that, most of them are just manageable. Ooh, the first chest. Yeah, I actually need that right now. I think the way to go with Christine is just max out Pentagram ASAP. That would have been the right choice. As you can see, it just kills everything really quickly. And it gives a ton of experience instead of just wiping out the chests and the experience. On the library, this is not a concern. You get so much experience, it honestly doesn't matter, even if you don't do it for the entire run. Though, you know, you might eventually want to do it. But here this might be a bit more complicated than I thought. Do not go for Clock Lancet here. This would lock you out of Firachi, and that's obviously horrible. If I could choose, I would probably go for Clock Lancet over LOL, you know, because I can freeze the enemies at a very, very low cooldown. And frozen enemies, you can walk through them, they won't deal any damage to you. So it's pretty much just like infinite survival if you keep cycling inside of the enemies. Generally speaking, I would recommend that you break some candles whenever you see them. Little clovers can increase your luck by 10%, and Pentagram even maxed out is not a guarantee that it doesn't erase stuff. So it would just be helpful to have them. It's not mandatory, it's not needed, it's just helpful. Ooh, for once Pentagram didn't wipe out a chest. Let's go. Empty Tome, yeah, I'm really far behind. This wave right now is rather tough to deal with, so I made myself on the way down. Oh, I really had to do that. Yeah, I'm on my way down to the wings. Just once I get the 6 passive weapon, I can immediately pick them up. Yep. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Oh, Pentagram didn't wipe it out. Nice. There we go, finally. I have all the 6 passive weapons that I wanted to have. So now it's time to go for the Attract Orb, Candelabra Door and Wings. Do I have a tip for you to get to this point? Honestly, I don't even know if I will survive. But not really. I tried to max out Pentagram first, that failed horribly. I tried to max out the guns first, that failed because Pentagram constantly kept showing up. I think if you max out Pentagram first, you really need the Clover to increase its chance to 100% that it doesn't erase the experience. Otherwise you just fall behind too far. And if you go for the guns, I think it will just kill everything, honestly. That might be the safest bet. Alright, and there we go. And I'll grab the wings. Thank you a lot. So this could be a really good farm wave. I kinda don't want to walk to the other passive weapons while they're going on. Yeah, there we go. With just a little bonus luck, Pentagram already becomes so much better. Your final goal will be to hit plus 60% luck. This is where it doesn't destroy anything anymore. Brazier, Spellbinder, Brazier, Spellbinder. Yeah, Brazier. Ooh, Clover level 2. Just one more level and it's guaranteed that Pentagram doesn't destroy anything anymore. And then every 15 seconds we will get a huge amount of experience. Just still gotta be careful to not die. Okay, the not dying part is easier said than done, to be honest. But a new wave is spawning. This should make it really simple, hopefully. Yeah, there we go, perfect. You know what, I'll gamble for it, I'll go for Empty Tome instead, it's just so good. And yeah, okay, no, this didn't upgrade it. Clock Lancet, perfect. If you get this up far enough, then you're just guaranteed safe. Nothing will kill you anymore. Ooh, this is where we have to use Clock Lancet, otherwise I will just die. Clover level 3, now it's maxed out, that the pentagram will not destroy stuff anymore. And all that I will do now is I'll just walk through the enemies, Clock Lancet up, perfect, and try to survive somehow. Hey, I never claimed it would be easy. If you want it easy, go to the Indate library. And the Sparrow is level 8, both are level 8, that means we can evolve it. Now we only have to wait for a boss chest, but I think one spawns at 15 minutes. And I made a slight adjustment. Instead of going for Center Water, I just went for Laurel. Not that I think it's mandatory, but I think it's helpful if you fall asleep or something like this, that you just don't die immediately. You don't want to lose a single revive, it will nerf Firachi later on. And of course, the more revives you have, the more likely you are to get further into the game, so that's why I just reset whenever I die. Oh, the boss spawns at 16 minutes. Okay, that makes sense. And as you have seen, he's immune to Pentagram. Pentagram actually doesn't deal damage, Pentagram just kills the enemy. The way it works is it just deals the max health that the enemy has as damage to him. Which means if a strike happens and it doesn't kill the enemy, then this enemy is immune to Pentagram. Yes, it does show the 666 and stuff like this, but that is just a visual thing. That doesn't exist in the game. As in, well, the visual thing obviously exists in the game, but the damage that it shows, no, that's not a thing. If you go into the code and you check out Pentagram, then you'll see that it has a power of 0. Alrighty, now that we have Firachi, I'll head over to, yeah, I guess the Candelabra door. That makes a bit more sense. And then I'll go up and get the tracked orb. If you look at the beam right now, you'll later notice how insane Candelabra door is with Firachi. I'm not too concerned with the level requirement right now. The reason is that, well, Pentagram goes off every 15 seconds, and the last wave gives an insane amount of experience, so even if we don't make it, like if we are still lacking some levels, it should still be possible to do it, just from the wave 29. By the way, don't do this too late that you get the items on the floor. I hope it's not too late for me, but the longer you wait, the more enemies will spawn as the waves become more dense, and then that might just take 5 or 10 minutes to get over to the tracked orb. While there are a lot of better things that I could get on a level up, I honestly just want to have Center Water. To know that I have this in the bag and nothing can go wrong anymore. Yeah, this is kind of what I was talking about. As you might notice, it's really difficult to walk through the enemies and I have to wait for Clock Lancet. But then it becomes even more difficult once you push through and you don't have Clock Lancet next to you to push further. Yeah, it's, And it's very far away. One thing you could slot in is definitely Spinach, right, for the bonus damage on the map. At least on this map, since you have a lot of drops on the floor. But I think Clover's just better. It guarantees you that the Pentagram doesn't erase stuff anymore. Erasing just means it disappeared. And I think that's worth it over Spinach. I just thought I reached the tractor, but it's just a vacuum. They should give me a decent amount of levels. I didn't pick up a lot of them. And I'll go for Candelabra door first. The bigger beams, you might already notice, they become quite huge. Where is my Center Water, Center Water, Center Water? Game, this is not funny. Give me my Center Water. Did I banish? No, I still... weird. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Stop that. I have 3 level ups left. That's all. That's it. Okay, I heard about a mechanic. I can't confirm it, but I heard about a mechanic that when you have a passive weapon or the actual weapon, then the actual weapon or the passive weapon, so just the counterpart, right, the stuff it synergizes with, becomes more likely to appear. So I want to avoid picking up as much experience as I can and just get the tracked orb right now. And I made a final decision. I actually think Song of Mana is worse than Garlic, simply because it takes up a lot of visuals on the screen, right? The entire animation that plays all the time with the low cooldown that Christine reaches. And that might just make it really difficult. Oh my god, finally. That might make it really difficult to... Oh, this is not good because I want to banish the tracked orb. Let's reroll. Center Water! Oh, we did it. In case I forgot about that, the reason why I want to banish the tracked orb is that I don't want to have a further pickup range. The NFT that you might pick up on accident will make the Reaper just jump towards you, as if you had no knockback, nothing that causes him to stutter, and it's near impossible to block them. Like, they just jump on you and that's it. But I didn't notice, I do have chests on the floor. Oh, good. Heidi-ho, Mr. Chest, thank you for the Labora. And as you can see, I am maxed out 25 minutes in, so this run felt bad experience-wise, but we still made it. So if you made it, but you're ever concerned you might not reach the level requirement, don't worry, even I reached it here. As you can see, the Labora is a perfect protection for this wave, which is kind of hilarious, because usually protection is what keeps the Labora away. Now that we are bound to hit 30 minutes, I will show you the entire dance for the first 5 Reapers. But honestly, it's already midnight, I don't want to continue this too long, so yeah, let's not do it too extreme. And as you might notice, do you see that? I'll try to not freeze him right now. The Farachi causes a ton of stuttering for him even without the Labora, but whenever he goes into the Labora, it's just insane. Combining the Farachi and the Labora, he barely moves anymore. I will attempt to keep this red gem around. It has a ton of level ups, and levels make you invulnerable. This might be the difference of dying or, well, surviving, whenever your shield is about to be broken, and you just pick it up, gain a couple of seconds, and that recharges your shield with the low cooldown that Christine has, right? I always try to keep some distance from the Reapers. If they get inside of the Farachi, so right where you can't see any of the lasers anymore, well, there are no lasers anymore in fact, and that will just get you killed. Or rather, let's say they don't get pushed back by it anymore, which causes the stutter movement. There we have the third Reaper, and as expected, it's not a big challenge, right? Huh, it actually looks like experience doesn't follow you on this map at all. I walked down for a while and it's still sitting here. That's interesting. So a small trick that you can do is, down here a couple of candles spawn, right? And if you go out of their vision range, then this will just cause them to spawn and your Farachi will instantly destroy them. This is how you can accumulate some items on the floor without doing anything. Now the best spot would be one where a lot of these are around, so let me go over there. I know a very good spot. It's kind of funny how he's chasing me, but he can't get me. Yeah, I think somewhere over here. Wasn't there a spot with 8 candles? Can I kill something? Oh! Did something oh yeah, look at this. Wait, that would actually be hilarious to try to go for a kill record just with this. Oh yeah, as you can see, there are now 5 Reapers. We had 4 minutes in-game and the first one spawned on 30 spot on. So yeah, 5 of them. Just keep your distance and they have to walk through the laser beams. They'll make it very easy and make sure that the Labora accumulates before they unfreeze. It's not the worst thing if it happens, but it means there's less stuttering and that makes it a bit more complicated. So just like this. And then I just walk slightly over so Labora can still follow me, and now I just look for a position that is in between all of them. Okay, listen, I just couldn't throw this away, you know, we were already 35 minutes in, and the record is 60 minutes and 45 seconds, so all I need to do is reach 60 minutes and 46 seconds, and it will be mine. But to be honest, I don't want to continue after that. I'm already recording for 1.5 hours since the Christine segment, not including the editing and recording of the prior parts, and there we go, we got the record. I just want to show you something funny, which is what happens when you freeze all of them, and over here is a freeze. Still undecided whether this is something good or bad. Like, it's of course good that no one can attack you anymore, but wait until they unfreeze, okay? So I'm looking for an open position that the Labora can accumulate and they have to walk through. Yes. That can make it really hard, but I would say that was it. I hope you I mean, if a run of 35 minutes is not worth throwing away, then I can maybe go a bit longer, just a couple of minutes. Oh yeah, and of course, because this is now a world record, I do have to make a video submission. So expect in 1 or 2 days I will upload the entire run, this time including the first 30 minutes, so you can see it was actually quite a big struggle to survive this. And yeah, then you can just skip through and see what happened. So overall I did quite a poor job to explain how I move, and honestly it's nothing I thought about. I think it's just natural movement that you do. So for example, when he comes from the bottom, I move away from the bottom, but I try to go the opposite way of where my clock lands it is, so I can shove it into them. Do you see that, how I shove it into them? That is pretty much the entire thing. First try to get around them, while the clock lancet is at the bottom, and then shove it into them. And this is what I do the entire time. Like, you'll see this, like, go over here and shove it into them. Go down because they're top left, shove it into them. And yeah, just repeat this forever. Ooh, there's another freeze. Let's just go for it, why not? Now that I think about it, I should just keep them in case I actually need them. But it's always so much fun when all the Reapers just rush at you, and you're like,